What's up guys, Faz here from BeckettBoy.com, back again with another one. BGS submission, Beckett grading. I know a lot of people have been screaming out for this, so what better time to do it. If you haven't seen my submission guides for PSA, for CGA, Card Grading Australia, and also for Cherry Collectibles, drop a comment. I'll leave the links in the description down below, so be sure to check that out after you finish watching this one. So Beckett's been around since 1979, so a long time they've been in this industry. Obviously they've come a long way since just releasing price guides, which is what they were first known for right up into the 90s. Baseball and basketball card guides, basically that was all they did. They've branched right out into authentications of all sorts of collectibles, cards, coins, you name it. Signatures, they do a lot of stuff with signatures, and also vintage works. Now they still do their price guides, however I think it's all online now. It used to be a magazine you could buy, you could look up your card that you owned, but that is all online. They also have the BVG, which is the Beckett Vintage Grading, which offers stuff I think pre-1970s. I could be wrong on that, but it's basically really old stuff. They do authenticate and grade those cards as well. And Beckett also offers a really cool club with 4 levels, and this is called the Beckett Grading Services Club. So similar to the PSA club, where you can choose your level of subscription, and there's one suitable for basically most forms of income or budget. So there's always something there to suit your own needs. We are drifting a little bit off topic, guys, but they do have, if you jump on their website, there's some really cool stuff there in regards to the club, some of the vintage stuff, the marketplace where people are buying and selling, and some of the other stuff there is really cool, and they've got a really in-depth website. Before we jump into it, guys, if you've been loving our content, do us a big favor and jump down, smash the subscribe button, hit the notification bell so you can get all our latest content when it drops. Head over to BeckettBoy.com. We've always got a ton of really cool features over there, really cool blog, some really cool stuff. Follow us on socials, links down below. So guys, you want to jump over to Beckett.com, and as you can see, there's a lot of different menus and a lot of things all over the place. There's news and here and there. Very in-depth website, like I was saying. There's a lot of different loopholes you can jump into. Some really cool stuff though. Some really useful information. They've got a lot of different divisions: price cards, authentications, grading, buy cards, organize. You can have an online storage facility with those. Not a storage facility, but you can list all the cards you've got if you want to sell, and just for organizing and stuff like that. So we are going to go into grade cards today, obviously, because that's what we're here for. So we'll just click on the grading section there, top in the middle, and that's going to open up a whole another lot of stuff here. So you can, pop report, all this other stuff here. You can check orders that you've got with them, and I'll just quickly show you. If we click on the grading packages, it's going to show you, it's just information, and it's about each one. So Beckett Grading Services, vintage, like I was saying, which is, okay, so prior to 1980, yep, so I was right about that. Raw card review, and also the new one, which is what we're going to do today, is the single grade service, which is without the subs, which is really cool. So if you're doing stuff for PC, personal collection, that comes in handy, because you don't, if you're looking to resell, sometimes it's handy to show who you're selling it to, the subgrades, which is what Beckett is known for. So anyway, we'll jump back to this one here, and we're going to go into submission forms. Now if you open that up, there's standard submission form, which is what we're going to do, and there's gaming submission form. So Yu-Gi-Oh, Pokemon, all that stuff, you would use that form there. So for this, we're going to do this one. Now, they don't really have an online system, okay? So you got to print this out, and you got to fill it all out, exactly the type of packages that you want. There's more information about it, and we'll just quickly go through it. So obviously, this is standard run-of-the-mill stuff. The address and all that stuff is up here, okay? Now, this is the the packages we got to choose from. So obviously I'm in Australia, I'm going to choose international shipping. Don't touch that box there, Beckett usage only. And obviously you can do more than 13, but it requires a second form. So if you want to bulk submit and beyond that, you need more forms. So I'm only going to use the one form. I think I've got about 5 or 6 that I'm going to chuck in there. We'll go through that in a second. And basically just get all those right. Okay, so it's very similar to PSA, only it's not online and it's on a format, so you got to write it out. Okay, just be sure that you get your cards right. So if you're unsure, Google your card to make sure you get it all right, just so you know you got the right one. And then you can look at your turnaround time. Okay, make sure you check these boxes too. Okay, and it just says there, like I just said, use the second sheet for additional cards. I've had to do that in the past where you might be sending off 30 or whatever, and you've got to use 2 or 3 sheets just to get that done. Now the service level, this is important. So if you look at this here, okay, now the bottom option is the no sub on all of them. It's a little bit cheaper. Like I said, if you plan to keep the card, you can resell it, no issues with the no subs, but having subs will show the buyer, what the card has been valued at or how it's been authenticated by Beckett. So 2-day turnaround, 5-day, 10 and 30. So we're going to go for a 30. Now just bear in mind with this year, grading times have been, you can't guess, you really couldn't. So don't expect any of this to be even close. 2 days could be a week, 5 days could be 2 weeks, 10 days could be a month, 30 days, 2 to 3 months. That's the reality at the moment with the COVID situation. On top of that, with the amount of people that are stuck at home, grading numbers have gone up because people have got nothing to do. So there's a lot of different factors, guys. They're just a few of them. So make sure you bring this bit over here and read this part here, okay? Because you've got to total up your number of cards, your grading fee per card, all that sort of stuff. So you will need a calculator, okay? You've got to manually do these, and you've also got to put your credit card details down here. You can, what I would suggest if you want to say you were going for like, I've got a mixture, I want to sell some, so I want the $30 per card option, $30 per card option, and some I want a PC, so I'm going to go 15. I would recommend 2 forms for that, just to separate confusion, if that makes sense. So even if you're just going to go like 2 or 3 per one, I would recommend doing 2 different forms just to separate the confusion there, add them up and send them that way. So once you've totaled up, okay, when you've added all of that together and you get down to the bottom, make sure you sign and date that. And here's their rules, the Beckett's rules, okay? And then once you've gone through that, it's standard stuff, but read through it if you're unsure. Once you have read that, come down to the postage options and you will see what it is for each one. Okay, so in this instance, I'm shipping internationally, so what I'm paying for is going to be in this box, and I'm going to be doing 1 to 10 cards, so that is $55. So I'll be adding on $55 to make sure you get your shipping up here. Okay, so now also you've got your insurance down here, so they're saying $1.25 insurance for every $100, sorry, $1.25 you pay for every $100 worth of insurance. So let's say I'm sending 5 cards, they're worth $100 each, that's $500. I will pay, what is that, $6.25 US for that to be insured. So you've got to add that in as well, okay? So make sure you work out what your declared value is, okay? And then you go from there. All right, now if you're in the US, you use this left box here to work it out. So if you've got under $1,000, yours is going to be $12, okay? No matter what, it's $12 insurance, okay? International orders only, so for me, this is what I'm going to be paying. And that's quite simple. So it's separated by the box, US, non-US. Simple. When you're finished filling this section out, make sure you have a read of this, because there are some important things to note. It does tell you a bit more description about what these things are. Now the premium service level options, that's just the standard ones. I'd recommend sticking to those, okay? Non-guaranteed, and that's whether or not you go the non-sub or not. I would definitely recommend just using the standard ones. The non-guaranteed, there's a little bit of sort of grey area in that, and what I mean by that is this service, what it says, this service level will not provide subgrades on modern cards 1981 and newer that receive a 10 overall grade. This service level is not valid on any cards that are valued more than $500. So don't try and pull the Swifty and sneak your Jordan rookie through on the $12 per card thing, because it'll backfire in your face, and that is their way. Now, don't get me wrong, you could probably sneak a few through, but in the end, if you're going to send through a bulk shipment of, you know, rookies that are worth thousands of dollars for the non-guaranteed, regardless of whether or not they get a 10 overall, if one of the BGS graders picks up on that, they'll just send your cards back and nothing will happen. So that's what I'm saying. If I would avoid using that unless you've got a low value card that you don't care about, basically, and read the guidelines first. So just be aware of that as well. And just run through these here. It does tell you specifics of things. So 17 points, most of it is straightforward. So guys, you've got the form, and you've gone through the instructions, all that sort of stuff. Just calculate that. It does have your return insurance and your return postage here, okay, and you can calculate those, like I said before, with this is your shipping, your return shipping, and this is your return insurance, okay? So very simple, just estimate it, and everything. You got to remember too, with your cards, it's self-declared, so what you think it's worth is what you put in here, okay? So a little bit of a loophole there if you're trying to do things cheaply. However, it is not that much, okay, to pay for some more expensive stuff. So and $12 for each additional $1,000. So be realistic what you're going to ship in, but we'll jump over to the examination table in a second, and I'll show you what I'll be shipping in, and a similar option will exist if you're in the US, as I'm in Australia. But make sure you also attach your form to your cards when you're shipping, and put that inside the box as well. Okay, but we'll go through all this in a second. Alright guys, so this is our submission form. Now I have pre-filled it, combing through the cards that I wanted to send, and a couple for one of my buddies. So as you can see, address and personal details up here. Select the shipping type. So if you're in the US, it's going to be one of these top four. International down the bottom, make sure you do that. And then it's just very straightforward. So as you can see, just line by line. Now I've just declared $100 for the purpose of this and the tutorial. So the guide, it's flat rate. Some of them are going to be up, some are going to be down, roughly about $100 once they come back graded. So that means I'm able to calculate the return insurance. Make sure you sign the bottom, date it. I'm not going to fill that obviously on camera, but I will. That's your payment options there. So either check or credit card just here. Okay. Now I've gone the no subgrades. This is mostly PC stuff, so I don't need the subgrades for those at all. And even if I wanted to sell them later on down the track, not a big deal. total number of cards 8, the grading fee, what that is, no insurance, $10 for the lot, and $55 postage, and grand total is that. So that's basically it in a nutshell. Okay, make sure you include this form inside your box. Okay, so the box that I'm going to use is one of these. So that's the measurements there. If you're in the States, USPS has almost an identical box. As you can see, I'll just pull it up so you can see it a bit better. Okay, so yeah, that's just a within Australia or worldwide one. Has tracking. Once I take this to the post office and pay for the tracking, make sure you put Beckett's address there, and always put on the flip side the return address there. So that's basically it, and I will just quickly show you how to package those up. These I just, once I get the, I'll just open that up. Not a lot of room on the desk. So yeah, you'll put your cards inside, and I'll normally stuff it once I've got the cards with the form in there, rubber band it up, just a whole lot of bubble wrap or scrunched up paper, just to fill the gap so it doesn't move, if that makes sense. Now, move that out of the way, and I'll quickly show you guys with your filling. So these are the actual cards that are getting sent. Put them in the order that you've listed them in, okay? So that's the exact order. Now, what I'll do is I'll just take the top one, and I'll quickly show you. Make sure you got them in a penny sleeve, guys. So penny sleeve is the little plastic slip that just very firm, very tightly hugs them. And don't put them in a one touch or a card saver. A top loader. Make sure you use a card saver. I recommend card saver 1 or 2. They are slightly better, I think, than the Ultra Pros. If you can't get the card savers, use an Ultra Pro. Now these are Ultra Pro. These are a little bit flimsy. Okay, they're not quite as sturdy as the top loaders. Now the benefit though is that they come out very easily. Okay, it does offer better protection than just the penny sleeve. When a grader can easily just squeeze that open and just pull it out without having to jam your fingers in and out like a top loader, means the card's not going to get damaged. So that's why, and they even do tell you in their guidelines that they prefer these. Now I'm going to make each one of these go in and in a card saver, and at the end I will just rubber band it. I'll get some cardboard, at the end, pop it all together. And sometimes it's easy to tell what you're going to get, what sort of grade. Other times, it's a bit more unpredictable. So I'd always recommend inspecting the cards before you send them. If you think the card's not going to grade very well, then often it's not wise to get them graded unless you're not fussed on the result and you just want to see it in one of the nice pretty containers. So that's that. Alright, and once you've got that ready to go, guys, get some really thick cardboard like that, really thick, and just put it in like that. Make a sandwich. Alright, now you can tape it up if you want. You can tape it and rubber band it. I am just going to rubber band it. Okay. This is how I have always done it. Just like that. And actually we'll wrap it double around here. Just like so. Now that should add enough protection. Pop that inside your mailbox. That should have enough protection. Pop that inside your parcel box. With this, wrap it up in some bubble wrap. So that's it, guys. So that's it for today, guys. If you enjoyed this one on BGS grading, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. I'll leave some links in the comments below for my previous guides on PSA, CGA, and also Cherry Collectibles. But until the next one, guys, we'll see you around.